Thank you very much. Hello, I'm Alexander Armstrong, and a warm welcome to Pointless, the quiz show where the lowest scorers are the biggest winners. Let's meet today's players. So first, we welcome Imogen and Imelda. You're our first pair on the show today. How do you two know each other?
We work with one another. We've worked together for about a year now.
For a year. Have you known each other just for that year?
I'm Imogen's PA.
Imelda, where have you come from?
I've come from Birmingham.
What are you hoping is going to come up this afternoon?
I like music, musical theatre especially. I go to a lot of gigs, so I'm quite good at music. So.
What's your favourite gig of all the gigs you've been to?
Lenny Kravitz was very good. I like Lenny Kravitz. He gave me his towel.
Did you have to fight lots of people for it?
Yes. Well, I'm able.
Yeah. Imogen, what would you like to come up this afternoon?
Anything to do with the archers.
Yeah, anything else other than the archers?
Ballets.
Archers and ballets. Very good. Let's see what we serve up for you this afternoon. Anyway, very best of luck. It's great to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Next, we welcome back Mark and Carl. This is your second show. Everyone gets 2 chances to reach the Pointless final, and this is your final opportunity to make it through to the Pointless final. Now, Mark, you found a pointless answer on the last show. You pulled out the masseter out of the bag.
I did. I think more by luck than judgment, but
Who cares? Yeah. It was a great answer. Carl, how are you going to stun us today?
Sport, maybe a bit of history might work all right for us. But...
Bit of history. Which particular area of history would be perfect for you?
I suppose, you know, more English kings and queens would probably be the best.
Very good. OK, well, let's keep our fingers crossed that comes up this afternoon. Anyway, best of luck to the pair of you. Next, we welcome back Linda and Colin. You were also on the show last time. Remind us how you did.
We got through to the head-to-head.
You did brilliantly. Colin, what would you like to see come up this afternoon?
Science fiction stuff, film and books, fantasy books, anything like that, and sport.
Sport. Linda?
Food and drink, maybe, UK geography, TV.
Well, very best of luck to the pair of you. And finally, we welcome Lynn and Neil. Now, how do you two know each other?
Well, he's my son, so I've known him for quite a long time.
Yeah. Now, where are you from, Neil?
From South Wales originally, but we live in Worcester.
You live in Worcester. And what do you do?
Work together.
You work together?
Yeah.
Now, that sounds like a powder keg, doesn't it? The father and son
It
work...
has been a powder keg. It has been a powder keg.
I mean, what do you work together doing?
We sell business contracts for mobile phones.
Wow, how is he, Lynn? Is he good? Is he everything a father might hope for?
He's very good. The trouble is, he thinks he knows it all, and I do know it all. I do know it all. No, you don't. I do. No, you don't. I do. There you go.
Well, very, very best of luck to the pair of you. It's great having you here. We'll find out more about all of you throughout the show. There's only one person left for me to introduce. He is a one-man masterclass of obscure knowledge. He's my pointless friend. He's Richard.
Hello there.
Hello there, sir.
What a lineup.
What a lineup.
Got 2 returning pairs. We really didn't see the best of Mark and Carl last time. Linda and Colin got all the way to the head-to-head. And I think every once in a while on this show, we have to say congratulations to a contestant for his shirt. And I'm going to say that to Colin today.
Thank you. I'm going to second that.
You're already a winner.
You are. OK, thanks very much, Richard. Now, we put all our questions to 100 people before the show, but this is pointless, so we are after the obscure answers they didn't get. What everyone's trying to do, of course, is find a pointless answer. That's an answer that none of our 100 people gave, and each time that happens, we will add £250 to the jackpot. Now, nobody won the jackpot last time, which means we add another £1,000 to that, so today's jackpot starts off at £11,000. Right, let's play Pointless. Now, in the first round, each of you must give me one answer and you cannot confer with your partner. Whichever team has the highest score at the end of the round will be eliminated. Be very careful, that's not you. Now, if anyone gives me an incorrect answer, they will score the maximum of 100 points. OK, our first category this afternoon is movie stars. Movie stars. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, let's find out what the first question is. Here it comes. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many Al Pacino films as they could. Al Pacino films. Richard.
Yeah, we're looking for any feature film made for cinema release prior to the start of January 2011, for which Al Pacino receives an acting credit. As always, we won't accept TV films or short films or things where he plays himself or anything uncredited, but voice performances do count if he's credited.
OK, thank you very much. Now then, Imogen and Imelda, you all drew lots before the show, and today you get to go first. So, Al Pacino films. Imelda.
Just trying to think. So many. I think he did one called Sea of Love.
Sea of Love. You are hoping to score as few points as possible with Sea of Love. Let's see if that's a correct answer, and if it is, let's see how many of our 100 people said Sea of Love. Good luck. It's right. Well done. Look at that, Imelda. Very, very well done. That's a superb answer. It scores you 1 point. Sea of Love, Richard.
Yeah, very, very well played, Imelda. Very good start to the show. It's from 1989, plays a cop tracing down a serial killer.
Thanks very much, Richard. Now then, Mark, we are looking for a nice, obscure Al Pacino film. I have a feeling you might be quite good on Al Pacino films.
I would have thought I would be, but I'm finding myself, my mind is going completely blank. I'm going to go for one that is relatively obscure, or I hope it is. I think I'm going to go for Heat.
You're going to go for Heat. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said Heat. Well done. Seven points for Heat. Very well done. Nice low score there. Heat, Richard.
Yeah, good answer. Quite a low score, I think. Al Pacino and Robert De Niro in the Michael Mann's film Heat from 1995.
Thanks very much, Richard. Colin. Remember, we're looking for Al Pacino films.
I have a feeling he was in The Godfather.
OK, you're going to say The Godfather. You're hoping to score as few points as possible. The Godfather, Al Pacino, is he in it? Let's find out. And if he is, let's see how many people said The Godfather. Ooh, it's a big one there, Colin. But it's right. And it's a great film. 45 points for The Godfather, Richard.
Yeah, big score. He plays Michael Corleone in 1972, The Godfather.
Splendid. Now then, Neil, we come to you.
OK, I'm going to go for one which was a stage play, I think, and I think he was in the film. It's called Glengarry Glen Ross.
Very, very good indeed, yes. Great film. You are hoping to score as few points as possible with Glengarry Glen Ross. I think that's an excellent answer. Let's see if it's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said Glengarry Glen Ross. Well done. Very, very strong answer there, Neil. Wonderful. Glengarry Glen Ross scoring you just the 1 point, earning you a pat on the shoulder from Lynn as well. Richard.
Yeah, a wonderful film, Glengarry Glen Ross, with Jack Lemmon and Alec Baldwin, Kevin Spacey. It's a brilliant film. And he was nominated for Best Supporting Actor for that as well. Didn't win it, but nominated.
OK, well, we're halfway through the round, so let's take a look at the scores as they stand. On 1 point, Imelda and Imogen, Neil and Lynn, looking very strong indeed. Not very far ahead of them on 7, Mark and Carl. Colin, 45. That was an expensive guess, The Godfather. It was right, but expensive. So, Linda, the pressure is going to be on you in the next pass. Very good luck, Linda. OK, we're going to come back down the line. Can the second players please take their places at the podium? OK, so we are looking for Al Pacino films. Lynn, you are on 1. Excellent low score from Neil there. Linda and Colin, the high score is on 45. If you can score 43 or less with this answer, you are assured of a place in the next round.
I'm going to go for Dog Day Afternoon.
Dog Day Afternoon. There is your red line. If Dog Day Afternoon gets you below that red line, you are through to the next round, Lynn. Let's see if it's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said Dog Day Afternoon. It's right. You are through to the next round. Oh, that's a wonderful answer, Lynn. Very, very well done. It scores you 4. It takes your total up to a brilliantly low 5. Richard.
Yeah, terrific answer. Then a terrific film as well, Dog Day Afternoon.
Now then, Linda, you are the high scorers on 45. You are going to have to answer as obscurely as you possibly can. Al Pacino films.
Yeah, I don't think that. I think we're not getting to the head-to-head this time. The only Al Pacino film I can think of that I don't even know if he was in it is Raging Bull. I don't know any Al Pacino films.
OK, Raging Bull. You are the high scorers on 45, so therefore no red line for you. You just have to hope it's right, and it goes down as far as it possibly can. Let's see if Raging Bull is right. And if it is, let's see how many people said Raging Bull. Oh, bad luck. Unfortunately, that is an incorrect answer, which means you score the maximum of 100 points. And that takes your total up to an unbeatable 145. I'm sorry, Linda. Richard?
Yeah, sorry, Linda. It's Robert De Niro in Raging Bull. Joe Pesci as well, but no Al Pacino.
So then, Carl, we come to you. You are through to the next round, come what may. However, how cool would it be if you dug out a pointless answer at this point?
I'm struggling to come up with something obscure, I have to admit, so I might just have to go for... I'll have to go for Scent of a Woman, I think, so it's not obscure, I don't think.
Scent of a Woman?
Yeah.
Scent of a Woman. Is it right? How many people said it? There we are, it's right. $15, not a bad score at all for you, Carl, there. That takes your total up to 22. Scent of a Woman, Richard?
Yeah, well played, Carl. He won an Oscar for that Best Actor in the same year he was nominated for Glengarry Glen Ross. OK, now then we come to you, Imogen. Imelda scored a fantastic 1. The high scorers, I'm afraid, unbeatably high on 145 are Linda and Colin. So you have free rein.
Not a big fan of Al Pacino, unfortunately, but I think he was in a cartoon, and I'm not 100% sure, but I'm going to go for it anyway. Shark Tale.
Shark Tale.
Yeah.
Very good. Shark Tale. No red line for you, obviously. You're through. Whatever happens, let's see if Shark Tale's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said Shark Tale. Good luck, Imogen. Oh, bad luck, but it doesn't matter.
No.
Shark Tale is an incorrect answer. It scores you the maximum of 100 points, taking your total up to 101. Richard?
Yeah, De Niro again in Shark Tale, but it's a perfectly good guess, I would say, and a good way to try and get a pointless answer. Let's take a look at some of the pointless answers that were up there. Righteous Kill, where again he acted with Robert De Niro. The Insider, the film about the tobacco industry, that was a pointless answer. He was in Dick Tracy with Warren Beatty and Madonna. That was pointless. It's unlike a Madonna film to be pointless, isn't it? Yeah. 2 for the Money. He's in 88 Minutes, where he plays a forensic psychologist who's told at the start of the film he has 88 minutes to live, and it plays out in real time. And People I Know. He was also in. All of those are pointless answers, so very well done if you said any of those.
What were the worst ones, Richard?
OK, the worst answers, these are the ones that most of our 100 people said. We've already heard a couple of them. Scent of a Woman, with 15. That was actually the 3rd most popular answer. Scarface, 26. And Colin gave us the top answer of all, which was The Godfather, 45.
OK, thanks very much, Richard. So at the end of round 1, the losing pair with the highest score, I'm afraid, is Linda and Colin.
It's not my...
Yeah, Al Pacino's not my favourite.
Well, there we are. Well, you've done
good, though.
incredibly well, and you've shown how well you can do with the right subjects. Thanks very much for playing. You've been excellent contestants. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
But for the remaining 3 pairs, it's now time for round 2. Now, obviously, only 2 pairs can make it through to the head-to-head, so one team is going to be leaving us at the end of this round. The category for round 2 is... art. Art. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, so our round 2 question concerns artists and their countries of birth. Artists and their countries of birth. In this round, we're about to show you a list of artists. We asked 100 people to tell us in which country each was born. Richard?
Yeah, we're going to show you 6 artists in each pass. The more obscure artist will score you fewer points. If you give us an incorrect answer, you'll score 100 points. By countries, as always, we mean a sovereign state that's a UN member in its own right.
OK, so we are looking for the country in which each of these artists was born. And we have got Henri Matisse, Hans Holbein the Younger, Leonardo da Vinci, Vasily Kandinsky, Pete Mondrian and Andy Warhol. I'll read those one more time. Henri Matisse, Hans Holbein the Younger, Leonardo da Vinci, Vasily Kandinsky, Pete Mondrian and Andy Warhol. OK, so there are the artists. You need to give me the country of their birth. And as always on Pointless, you are looking for the most obscure answer you can find. So, Imogen, is this a good subject for you?
No. In a word.
Is it a disaster, or is it something
Yes,
you're...
looking at those names, it's a disaster. So I might have to go really safe. OK, Andy Warhol, USA.
Andy Warhol, USA. That's what you're going to say. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people knew that. Andy Warhol, USA. Is right. 44, that scores you. Andy Warhol, Richard.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? You've got to go for a safe one if 'cause it's much better to get 44 than 100.
OK, thank you very much. I tell you what, Imogen, by picking that off, you might well, tactically, have done yourself a favour because you've removed one of the more obvious names from the board. Yes, Carl, you're not going to thank Imogen for that, are you?
No, it is one of the more obvious ones. I think there's
Yeah.
I think there's a couple that are obvious and a couple that might need a bit of a guess. There's a big guess and a little... I'll go for a little guess. And I'm going to go for Henri Matisse. I think I'll go for French.
Henri Matisse, France, you're going to say. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people knew that answer. Henri Matisse, France. Very well done. 47. Not a bad score. Not a bad score. Henri Matisse, Richard?
Yeah, Henri Matisse, one of the most influential painters of all time.
Thank you very much. Now then, Neil. Neil, luckily, we come to somebody who knows his artists from his elbow at the end.
Not really, no. I know where Leonardo da Vinci comes from, but that's going to be quite a high answer, I think. Vasily Kandinsky. I might guess at Russian. I think I'm going to have to play it safe and go Leonardo da Vinci, Italian.
Leonardo da Vinci, Italian, you are going to say. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people knew that answer. Ooh, that's an expensive safety shot, Neil, there. Leonardo da Vinci was indeed Italian, but 81 people knew that. Leonardo, Richard?
Yeah, very, very big score. But again, you know, it's better than 100. Let's take a look at the rest of the board. Hans Holbein the Younger is from Germany. 22 points that would have scored you. Vasily Kandinsky is Russian, would have scored you 26 points. And Pete Mondrian, do you know Pete Mondrian?
Dutch.
He is Dutch, exactly right. It's the best answer on the board with 5 points, so well done if you got Pete Mondrian.
OK, well, let's take a look at the scores. We're halfway through the round. 44, Imogen and Imelda. Then up to 47 for Carl and Mark for Henri Matisse. Neil and Lynn way ahead on 81 there. Lynn, you're going to have to try and score as low as you possibly can on the next pass. OK, we'll come back down the line. Can the second players please take their places at the podium? OK, we're going to put 6 more artists on the board, and here they come. We have got Vincent van Gogh, Frida Kahlo, Edvard Munch, Salvador Dali, Gustav Klimt and Claude Monet. Vincent van Gogh, Frida Kahlo, Edvard Munch, Salvador Dali, Gustav Klimt, Claude Monet. Now, remember, we are looking for the country each of these artists was born in, and you're trying to find the one that the fewest of our 100 people knew. Now then, Lynn, what are you thinking about this selection of artists?
Well, I know where 3 of them are from, but so does probably another 100 people, so that's no good. I'm going to have to take a gamble, aren't I? Because I need a low, low score. I'm going to go with Edvard Munch, and I'm going to say he's Swiss.
Edvard Munch. Swiss, you are saying. You're the high scorer, so there's no red line for you to come down below. Edvard Munch, Swiss. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said it. Bad luck. Bad luck. I'm afraid that's an incorrect answer, which means you scored a maximum of 100 points, taking your total up to an unbeatable 181. Richard.
Yeah, tough luck, Lynn. I won't give you the answer just now, just in case Mark or Imelda want to answer the same question.
OK, thank you very much. Now then, Mark, you are through, whatever happens. So why not have some fun with this board?
Obviously, there are a couple that you... Well, I hope that I know. So I'm going to have to go for one of the others to try and build up the cash pot. I think I'll go for Edvard Munch as well, and I'll try Germany.
Edvard Munch, Germany, you're saying. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said it. Edvard Munch. No! Unfortunately, also a wrong answer, which scores you a maximum of 100 points, taking your total up to 147, but you're through to the head-to-head. Richard?
Yeah, not Germany either, I'm afraid. Somewhere out there's an art historian going.
So we come to you, Imelda. You are on 44. You can say what you like. Even if you score 100 points, you are still in the head-to-head.
I mean, I think Salvador Dali's Spanish and Claude Monet is French. But I think I'm going to go with Frida Kahlo and say Spain. OK,
Frida Kahlo, Spain, you are saying. Imogen shaking her head at that.
I think she's from Mexico.
OK, well, let's see if that's right. Frida Kahlo, Spain. And if it is, let's see how many people said it. There we are. It's not right. I think, as Imogen said, she is Mexican, but there we are. We'll discover in a moment. Unfortunately, that's an incorrect answer. That scores you the maximum of 100 points, giving you a total of 144, but it doesn't matter. You're through to the head-to-head. Richard?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think I've ever had to fill in a whole board before. Yeah, Frida... so let's take a look at the whole board. There's Frida Kahlo there, and you're absolutely right. It was Mexico. Would have scored you 10 points, so it would have been a very good answer. Claude Monet, French, absolutely right, 75 points. Salvador Dali is Spanish, right again, 43 points. Vincent van Gogh is Dutch, would have scored you 42 points. Now, Edvard. We know a lot of places he's not from. That's definitely true. There are 3 or 4 countries left in the world that we haven't guessed. Edvard Munch is Norwegian. Would have scored you 12 points. And Klimt is one of the most... his paintings sell for more than virtually anybody these days, but where's he from?
I would like to say sort of Hungary, Austria, one of those... Yeah?
Austria. Exactly right. And it would have scored you 6 points. So a very famous painter, but the best answer on the board. So well done if you knew Klimt was Austrian.
OK, thanks, Richard. So at the end of round 2, the losing pair with the highest score is Lynn and Neil. Bad luck, bad luck. It was a tough category, that one, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
We will see you again next time, and we will look forward to that because you've been excellent contestants. Thanks so much for playing. Thank you. But for the remaining 2 pairs, things are going to get even more exciting now as we enter the head-to-head. Very well done, Mark and Carl, Imogen and Imelda. You've made it through to the head-to-head. Now, obviously, only one pair can make it through to the final and play for the jackpot, which currently stands at £11,000. You're nearly there. You're going head-to-head on the best of 3 questions. For each question, each pair needs to give me just one answer, and you are now allowed to confer. All you have to do is come up with an answer that scores less than the other pair, and you will win that question. The pair that's the first to get to the best of 3 will be playing for today's jackpot. OK, let's play Pointless. Here is your first question. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many Andrew Lloyd Webber talent show winners as they could. Andrew Lloyd Webber talent show winners. Richard.
Yeah, we're looking for any human or animal who've won one of the Andrew Lloyd Webber talent show contests on the BBC between 2006 and the start of 2011. That's How Do You Solve a Problem Like Maria, Any Dream Will Do, Over the Rainbow and I'd Do Anything. Any of the winners of any of those shows, please, and first names will be allowed.
OK, now then, Mark and Carl, because you played best throughout the show so far, you get to go first. Andrew Lloyd Webber talent show winners.
After, much discussion, we've decided we can only come up with one. I think it's Lee Mead was one of them.
Lee Mead.
Yeah.
OK, you're going to say Lee Mead.
I think.
Imogen and Melda, you can now do all your discussion out loud.
Connie Fisher won the first one. Then there was Lee Mead. Danielle Hope has just won the Wizard of Oz. Jodie Prenger, Any Dream Will Do. Jodie Prenger won Any Dream Will Do. And I'm going to go with Danielle Hope for the Wizard of... Is that OK?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It is amazing.
Go.
OK, so we have Lee Mead, we have Danielle Hope. Mark and Carl, you've gone with Lee Mead. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said Lee Mead. Well done, it's right. Down it comes 17. That's a great score. 17 for Lee Mead. So, Imelda, what do you think? Forgive me,
I don't know if I picked the right one now.
What are you thinking?
She's the most recent one. But I think the shows were more popular at the earlier stages.
OK, well, you've gone for Danielle Hope.
Yep.
Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said Danielle Hope. Good luck. It's right. Well done, look at that. Oh, down to 2. Danielle Hope scoring only 2 there. Wow, so after the first question, 1-0 to Imogen and Imelda. Richard.
Yeah, well done, Imelda. There were actually 4 answers that would have beaten Danielle Hope. It was the 3 boys chosen to play Oliver and the dog chosen to play Toto. Let's take a look at all of those answers. Gwion Jones, Harry Stott and Lawrence Jeffcoat, all of those won the right to play Oliver. Dangerous Dave was the mini schnauzer. Let's take a look at the other answers. There's Danielle Hope on 2. She, of course, played Dorothy. Connie Fisher, who was Maria, 7. Jodie Prenger, who was Nancy, 10. And Lee Mead, who played Joseph, on 17.
Thanks very much, Richard. OK, here is your second question. Now then, Imogen and Imelda, if you win this question, you are straight through to the final and we'll be playing for £11,000. Mark and Carl, you have to win this question to stay in the game. Here it comes. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many Newcastle United managers as they could. Newcastle United managers. Richard.
Yeah, we're looking for any of the 17 men who've managed Newcastle United Football Club from 1990 through to the beginning of 2011.
OK, Imogen and Imelda, you go first this time.
OK.
OK, we have an answer.
We're going to go with Kevin Keegan.
OK, you're going with Kevin Keegan. Very good. Mark and Carl, they have said Kevin Keegan.
Do we go for Rude Hullet, do you think? Who took over?
When was Rude Hullet?
Oh, Chris Houghton. I think it was after Kevin Keegan. He was there when Shearer was there because he dropped Shearer, didn't he?
Yeah, Rude Hullet. Go on, then.
Yeah, we'll go for Rude Hullet, shall we?
OK.
Rude Hullet.
We'll go for Rude Hullet.
OK, so we have Kevin Keegan, we have Rude Hullet. Imogen and Imelda, you have said Kevin Keegan. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said Kevin Keegan. Ooh, yes. Not surprisingly, a popular answer. Mark and Carl have gone for Rude Hullet. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said Rude Hullet. Yep, there we are. Down to 10. Very well done, Mark and Carl. So, after our second question, it is 1 point apiece. Richard.
Yes, 17 managers in 20 years. really is amazing they haven't won the Premiership in that time, isn't it? A few of them were actually had very brief stints as caretaker managers. Let's look at all of them. Pointless answer, Steve Clarke, who was a caretaker manager. Jim Smith, who was there for a few years, also pointless. Terry McDermott, 1 point. Nigel Pearson, 1. John Carver, who was very briefly a caretaker manager as well, 1 point. Graham Souness, 2. He was fired. Joe Kinnear, 2, slightly bizarrely took over. Ozzy Ardiles also fired, he was on 3. Glenn Roeder left in 2007, 4. Sam Allardyce on 6. Kenny Dalglish, 9. Alan Pardew, who took over in December 2010, on 10 points. Ruud Hullet also on 10 there. Chris Houghton, who Alan Pardew took over from, 11. Alan Shearer, of course, was briefly in charge, 17. Sir Bobby Robson, 22. And Kevin Keegan, who's been there twice, actually the biggest answer of all, 43.
OK, thank you very much. Now then, here is your third question. Whoever wins this question is through to the final and will be playing for that £11,000 jackpot. It's a crucial point, this. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many post-war poets laureate as they could. Post-war poets laureate. Richard.
Yeah, we're looking for any of the 6 people who've held the post of Poet Laureate of the United Kingdom from 1945 through to the beginning of 2011.
OK, thanks very much, Richard. Now, Mark and Carl, you get to go first.
After racking our brains, I think we've just somewhere in the back of my mind, I think Cecil Day-Lewis was...
Cecil Day-Lewis. OK, you're saying Cecil Day-Lewis. Imogen and Imelda.
No, John Betjeman was Philip Larkin and Andrew Motion. No, not Philip Larkin. Ted Hughes.
Ted Hughes.
Ted Hughes, briefly. Carol Ann Duffy.
Carol Ann Duffy.
Carol Ann Duffy.
Yeah.
Carol Ann Duffy is your answer.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
OK, so we have Cecil Day-Lewis and we have Carol Ann Duffy. Let's take them in the order they've been given. Mark and Carl. Cecil Day-Lewis, is it right? How many people said it? Good luck. It's right. Oh, look at that. 1 point. Now, that's a low score. Imogen and Imelda. You have said Carol Ann Duffy. Let's see if she's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said Carol Ann Duffy. Well done, it's right. Good luck. Let's see how far down this goes. 1 is what you... Oh! Well, Mark and Carl have done it. Lovely low score there, Cecil Day-Lewis. After 3 questions, Mark and Carl are through to that final 2-1. Richard.
Yeah, very good head-to-head and a very good last question as well. You gave us 5 of the 6 poets laureate. The other name is the only one that would have beaten Cecil Day-Lewis. So let's take a look at who that was, because I suspect some people at home will have got it. Right at the bottom of the list, pointless answer, John Masefield, who was a poet laureate from 1930 through to 1968. Cecil Day-Lewis on 1. Carol Ann Duffy was the right answer to go for from the ones that you had. She scored 16. Andrew Motion, 18. Ted Hughes, 19, who was poet laureate because Philip Larkin turned it down. And John Betjeman, Sir John Betjeman at the top on 24.
Thanks very much, Richard. So the losing pair at the end of the head-to-head is Imogen and Imelda. Well, it was very, very close indeed. You've been great contestants all the way through the show. Sorry that you haven't made it through to the final this time, but we will see you again next time. We'll look forward to that. Thanks very much meanwhile, though.
Thank you.
But for Mark and Carl, it's now time for our pointless final and the chance to win our jackpot of £11,000. Well, congratulations, Mark and Carl. You've fought off all the competition and you have won our coveted pointless trophy, so very well done. You now have a chance to win our pointless jackpot, and at the end of today's show, the jackpot stands at £11,000. Now, the rules are very simple. To win that money, all you have to do is find a pointless answer. That's an answer that none of our 100 people could think of. Now, we haven't had any pointless answers on the show today. You only have to find one now to go home with that money. First, though, you've got to choose a category, and you can choose from these 3 options. Here we are. We have World Geography, Music Awards, and Sports Stars. What do you think?
Right, World Geography, not my choice.
I know a bit, but I won't be.
Music, would you be happy? No, I think it has to be Sports Stars,
I think
doesn't it?
Of joint knowledge, I think Sports Stars is the one we could both maybe come up with.
Contribute a
Music
little
is
bit.
definitely my weakest out of them as well, so I won't go for music. So
Sports Stars.
Sports Stars.
I think we're looking definitely at Sports Stars.
What would be your dream category in Sports Stars?
Oh, players that scored winning goals for Hull City at an FA Cup final. Yeah, but everyone knows that. So.
OK, right, well, good luck. Let's find out what that question is. Here goes. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many BBC Overseas Sports Personalities of the Year as they could. BBC Overseas Sports Personalities of the Year. Richard?
Yeah, we're looking for any winner of the BBC's Overseas Sports Personality of the Year from the first time it was awarded in 1960 right through to and including the 2010 award. Very best of luck.
OK, you now have up to 1 minute to come up with 3 answers. All you need to win that £11,000 is for just one of those answers to be pointless. Your 60 seconds start now.
OK, well, would you go for Pele or someone like that? Or
tennis, Bjorn Borg.
Bjorn Borg. They're all
Golfers.
famous people. Who pulled something out the bag and you know...
Recently you've got...
Yeah.
Going for a long time ago, cup winners. Who's the Aussie rugby player who won Campese, do you think he'd have...
David Campese, maybe.
Yeah, we'll go
Was it
with one.
Richard Campese, wasn't it? Well, they're two.
David
No,
Campese. David Campese.
Yeah.
I think someone like McEnroe or Borg as tennis. Rod Laver.
Rod
He won a
Laver's
Grand
good
Slam,
call.
didn't he?
Rod Laver's good call. I don't know if they won, but
I don't know.
you've
Tom
got to go for
Watson or
something
Jack
obscure.
Nicklaus.
Go for something obscure.
Tom Watson, do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, golfer.
Yeah.
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 Do you think something like sort of 17
Okay,
seconds?
so what?
Anything else? Who else is running golf? Wood Ballesteros. That'd be very obvious anyway.
Well, I don't know. I mean, if he definitely won it.
I don't know. I honestly don't know if any of these were.
5 seconds left.
Rod Laver.
OK. Sounds like you have your 3 answers. Your time is up. We were looking for BBC Overseas Sports Personalities of the Year. I now need those 3 answers from you. What are you going to give me?
We're not sure any of them were Sports Personality of the Year, but we went for Rod Laver.
Rod Laver.
David Campese.
David Campese.
And Severiano Ballesteros.
And Sevi Ballesteros.
Yeah.
OK, of those 3, which do you think is your best shot at a pointless answer?
Probably Rod Laver.
Laver.
maybe.
Probably Rod Laver.
Laver. OK, Rod Laver last. And of the remaining 2, which is your least likely?
Sevi probably least likely, yeah. Most
OK.
well known, isn't he?
OK, we'll put them up on the board in that order. Here we go. Sevi Ballesteros, David Campese, and Rod Laver. OK, we were looking for BBC Overseas Sports Personalities of the Year. You said this was your least confident answer. You only have to find one pointless answer to win that £11,000 jackpot. OK, so let's see if Sevi Ballesteros is a correct answer, and if it is, let's see how many people said Sevi Ballesteros. It's right. It's right. That was the first thing it had to be. The second thing it has to be is a 0 score. Down it goes into single figures. Look at that. Oh, wow. 2. 2. This tells us 2 things. Firstly, our 100 people perhaps aren't that good at this particular category. It also tells us that your least confident answer is already brilliant. Sadly, it's not pointless, though. But you said that was your least confident answer. You weren't expecting that to go all the way down. You a bit surprised by how low that's gone?
Yeah, actually.
To a certain degree, yeah.
Yeah, I think this is very exciting. We have a game on our hands. OK, you only have 2 more chances to win today's jackpot. We are looking for BBC Overseas Sports Personalities of the Year. Your second answer was David Campese. OK, David Campese. It has to be pointless for you to win that jackpot of £11,000. First, though, it has to be right. Let's see if it is right. And if it is right, it could go a very long way down. What would you do with £11,000?
I'm sure my children would think of many ways of spending it for me.
Just don't tell them. Don't tell them.
I'm sure that my wife would absorb most of it before I even knew that it hit the bank account, but there you go.
Well, you could have a very, very jolly journey back to Hull, anyhow. That's for sure. OK, David Campese. Let's see if it's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said it. Good luck.
Yeah.
It was a shot in the dark.
It was.
It was a shot in the dark. David Campese. Sadly, not a pointless answer. You only have one more chance to win today's jackpot. Rod Laver. There he is. This has to be pointless for you to win that jackpot. It's your last shot. You are one question away from £11,000. We are looking for BBC Overseas Sports Personalities of the Year, Rod Laver. Is it correct? And if it is, how many people said it? Rod Laver. It's right. It's right. Oh, this is very exciting. Seve Ballesteros went down to 2. Rod Laver, is he going to take you all the way down to pointless? And if he does, he's going to make you £11,000 richer. Oh, no!
Who was that one?
I tell you what, we have had a punishing run of ones on this jackpot round. You wouldn't believe the number of ones we've had. So come so close. Unfortunately, I'm so sorry you didn't manage to find that all-important pointless answer. So you don't win today's jackpot of £11,000, which rolls over onto the next show. But you have been brilliant contestants. And you do, of course, get to take home our pointless trophy. OK, well, this is the painful bit. Richard.
It's even more painful today, I think, because there are some names up on that board which are very, very well known. Incredible to me that Rod Laver scored 1 when you see some of the names that scored nothing at all. David Campese was a very good guess, didn't win it. Mal Meninga won in the same era. Let's take a look at the pointless answers. We're going to start with some of the tennis players who aren't Rod Laver. Andre Agassi won it. Boris Becker, Martina Navratilova, Chris Evert, Steffi Graf, Martina Hingis. All pointless answers, all of them. Let's take a look at the next board. Eusebio, he's the only football player on the pointless list. Gary Player was pointless. Lee Trevino as well, he was pointless. Brian Lara, pointless answer. Evander Holyfield, a pointless answer. Michael Johnson, the 400-metre runner, and Jonah Lomu. All of those are pointless answers. Very well done if you said any of them at home. Very, very tough luck. Very tough luck.
Oh, dear. That makes painful reading, doesn't it?
Where the cookie crumbles.
I'm surprised some of those weren't pointless. Yeah.
Amazed. Brian Lara.
Yeah. Oh, no. Jonah Lomu.
Well, unfortunately, we do have to say goodbye to you, Mark and Carl, but it's been brilliant having you on the show. You've been excellent contestants. Thank you so much for playing. Thank you.
Thank you.
So nobody's won our jackpot today, which means it rolls over again onto the next show when we will be playing for £12,000. Join us then to see if someone can win it. Meanwhile, it's goodbye from Richard.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.